Anyways, I'm excited to do this with all of you today. We are going to start with a 5-minute warm-up. We're going to do a 4-minute little core set, and then we have an 18-minute 6-movement timed circuit. All you need is your body weight and or dumbbells or kettlebells if you have those. I will be showing some different variations of movements that you can utilize depending on where you are at with your fitness right now. Okay, so let's get started. Just start with just kind of shaking everything out. That's more just so I can start the timer. And I don't have any music playing in the background for this because Instagram does not like that. So I don't want this to get shut off or to be able to not repost it for you to go back to later on. All right, some shoulder shrugs here. So feel free, especially if you're doing the recording, to push play on any of your own playlists on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever that you like. It does feel a little weird to not have music. Bring those arms forward, big shrugs. Good. You got it. So hopefully, if you are shoveling today, this will be a nice little warm-up for you, and or you can add it on to the end of your shoveling. All right, we're just gonna do half a little squat here, and we're going to rotate and press, getting that full rotation from our upper body down to our lower body, feeling that rotation through our waist and our spine, getting our arms moving. Good. You got it. And I can't see comments from back here, so if you do have questions, I will try to answer them throughout the workout and or at the end of the workout. I will do my best, okay? And very light body weight squats. We're just dropping it down, press the floor away as we stand up. Remember, we're trying to keep our chest as elevated as we can, trying to not completely fold over, okay? Weight should be fairly even through your feet, a little bit more into your heels, but not so much that you're falling over, okay? Also, your feet and your legs do not have to be completely underneath your hips, completely straight on. Play around with the foot and leg placement that feels good for you in your body. Awesome work. Good. One more, and come on down to the floor. We are going to do some open book. So you want to lay with one arm out. Your feet are at about a 90-degree angle. If it feels comfortable and you have access to, you can put a foam roller here to keep your knee at hip height. And we're just going to take our top hand and we're going to open over to the side and back. Good. Open and back. Do this a few more times on this side. Perfect. You should feel that nice stretch and twist through your spine and through your chest. And you're trying to keep your legs so that they're staying on the floor, and you're aiming to get your shoulder down to the floor. But everybody has a different level of mobility here, so don't worry if you can't do that right now. All right, flip it on over. You can just roll over if you want, but I'm gonna avoid having my butt facing you. Here we go. Good. Open and close. Very nice job. You can also always, with this movement, put a pillow underneath your head if that is more comfortable for you. Good. And back. And open. Give me 2 more here. Nice job. And open. Okay, we're gonna come into a glute bridge position. So we want our feet just about hip width. Heels are as close to our glutes as we can get, and we're trying to avoid pressing with our hands, so I like to put my palms up, and we're pressing through the floor, squeezing our glutes at the top, and then lowering, okay? And down. And we're here for about 30 seconds. You can experiment with pulsing at the top if you want. Good. 2. And also, if you're doing this as a replay, feel free to add a band on if you want a little extra resistance, but we are just getting warmed up, so we don't need to be super intense right now. Also, movement and exercise does not always need to be super, super intense to be effective. 2, and 1. Okay, so we are going to do, let me just reset my timer here, a little 4-minute core activation. We're going to do dead bugs and bird dogs, alternating them, 2 rounds, so a total of 4 minutes, 40 seconds of work, about 20 seconds to transition. So we're going to start with our dead bugs. So when we do our dead bugs, we want to make sure that our back is flat into the floor and we're in upside down tabletop. I'm going to start the timer. Okay? Goal here is we don't want to get a piece of paper underneath our back. And we are inhaling and then exhaling as we bring our limbs together. So we are here for 40 seconds. You can also practice just moving your arms. You can practice just moving your legs. You can also leave a bend and drop your heels. Okay? So, and rest. So those are all different variations that you can do for yourself. Okay, so now we are coming over into our bird dog position. We're just flipping over into tabletop, making sure that our shoulders are over our wrists, knees are under our hips, nice neutral spine. We're not super sway backed here. Engage that core, and we are pushing that heel back as we push our opposite arm forward and then return. And we're alternating that. So a common mistake here is that people think you're kicking up like this. That's not what you're doing. You're pressing forward and pressing back. Engaging your core, connecting your breath. We have about 10 seconds left here. Waking up your shoulders, waking up your hips. 2, and rest. We're going to go back. We're going to do another set of dead bugs, another set of bird dogs, and then we will move into our feature event. Welcome everybody who's just tuning in. We're getting back into our dead bug position here, and go. So use whichever variation feels good for you. Always thinking about our lower back, engaging our core. Good. Always coming back to the center. We have about 10 more seconds. And this is not a race. This is for slowing down here. And rest. One more set of bird dogs. Come on over into tabletop. I like to start when I get into this position by just lifting up my hands, kind of finding my center, connecting to the floor, and we're pressing forward, pressing back, and returning. If this is very challenging for you, you can also play around with moving your arms or your legs, or stay right here, alternating the hand lift, okay? There's no right or wrong way. Good. And in this space, there is never any shame in doing an alternate or accommodated movement. Good. And rest. Why don't you take a child's pose if that feels good to you. Stretch those hands out. Wide knees, sit your bottom back. and then move into the next movement. If that interval pace is too much, you can reduce that to be 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, okay? Do what feels good for you. I will offer some modifications and alternatives as we go through these. So I want you to feel really good in your body. And we're gonna do this circuit 3 times today. Yes, you heard me, 3 times. All right, take rest when you need it. Get water when you need it. You do not need to wait for me to cue you for when you require those things, okay? So our movements today, we're gonna do reverse lunge on our left, push-ups, reverse lunge on our right, bent over rows, a squat with a pulse, and lateral raises, okay? So if you have dumbbells, you'll need those. If you also want some added resistance for things like the squat press or the lunges, you can also feel free to add a resistance band, a resistance loop above your knees, okay? So let's get started. I'm gonna set this timer. Whoop. I just almost set that for 20 hours instead of 20 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna get started with those reverse lunges. So you're stepping back with your right leg, dropping down and coming back. And again, we do not have to be super fast with these, and you'll notice that I'm doing these body weight. That's okay. I am feeling and focusing in on the form and control of this movement. Whoops, as I look at you and fall over. Really thinking about pressing the floor away with this front leg and activating the top of my thigh, which is my quadriceps. Good. Stepping back. You can also choose to keep your foot back and drop it down and up in a static lunge and rest, okay? We're gonna do push-ups, and I worked my shoulders and chest really hard yesterday, so I'm actually gonna do these on an elevation. I also like to add a yoga block between my legs to help me focus in on tightening up my plank, okay? So shoulders are, hands are about hip, shoulder width, and we're dropping down and up, keeping that plank position. You can be on the floor on your toes. You can be on an incline. If you do not have access to an incline, you can also drop it down to your knees. However, working on an incline is going to help you build that strength in your core and your push-up more effectively than dropping on your knees, okay? And rest. Awesome job. So now we're going to reverse lunge on the other side. So now I'm going to bring my left leg back, so most of the work is happening in my right leg. How's everybody feeling? Amazing? I hope so. All right, we got 5 seconds. 2, and bring that left foot back, drop into that lunge, press the floor away. So if lunges really bother your knees, again, this is a regression for you. You can also choose to replace these with squats, okay? While you're building your strength, you can also choose to do glute bridges as you're building the strength in your glutes, in your adductors, abductors, okay? All the muscles, your quads. As you're building strength, these will start to feel better for you. And rest. All right. Now, it's preferred if you have dumbbells. If you have a resistance band, you can also do bent over rows with that. You're going to grab your weights. Feet are about hip width. We're going to hinge over, slight bend in our knees, and we're going to think about rowing those weights to our hip bones. Good. Squeezing your shoulder blades together like you have a pencil or a pen. All right, so this, what we don't want is this. That's a bicep curl. We want this, okay? And you don't have to go up like this. Stop right at the edge of your torso. We got 5 seconds. And rest. Again, feel free to get water whenever you need it. Next movement is a squat pulse. If you would like, you can hold 1 or 2 weights. I'm going to choose to do a goblet style squat here. I'm going to get my feet into position. We're going in 3, 2, and we're dropping it down. Pulse, press away. Down, pulse, press away. Really nice job. Want to make sure that we're not rolling into the middle of our feet or on the outside, connecting the 4 corners of our feet with the floor. You got it, we're almost there. 8 seconds, pulse. You can feel free to take the pulse out. Okay, and rest. All right, if you have access to a lighter set of dumbbells for the lateral raises, I want you to grab those. And we're gonna actually have our arms at 90 degrees. This movement is coming from our shoulders. All right, so we do want to be conscientious of how we're moving this joint. 90 degrees. We're only coming up to shoulder height. We do not need to be higher than that. All right, slight bend in your knees, neutral pelvis. Really nice job, friends. So you should be feeling this in the top of your shoulders, maybe a little bit in your neck. Make sure you're not straining your neck. We got 5 seconds here. And rest. All right, we are actually going to take a little bit longer of a rest. I want you to get some water, please. I need some water. I'm just going to check in, see if there's any questions. And then we're going back to the top. Thank you all so much for joining. Happy that you are here. So we're going back to that reverse lunge with our right leg going back, okay? So does anybody have any questions while we're taking a little rest? All right, excellent job. All right. Reset this. All right, so we are stepping back and go. 40 seconds here. Another thing you can do if lunges feel funky in your knees, you can also lean your torso forward a little bit more. In that movement, that little tweak can help some people feel less tweaking in their knee area when they lunge. Good. Make sure you're not banging your knee on the floor. Good job. 5 seconds. 2. And rest. Back to everybody's favorite push-ups. Again, if you feel like you're doing these on your knees, if you have access to an elevated surface or even a wall, that's going to be more helpful for you as you gain strength. Yoga block or some other, like a ball or something in between your thighs, helps you grip your core. And go. Inhale on your way down, exhale as you press up. Think about having balloons under your armpits to make sure your shoulders are not coming up into your ears. We're already halfway, friends. Don't let those shoulders roll forward. If you need to, take a break, stretch it out, and then come on back in. 2, and rest. You're all doing so amazing. We're going back to that reverse lunge on the other side. All right, so we're going to step back with our left leg. We're going in 5, 2, and go. Lunging back and up. Thinking about our knees. Good. Perfect. Pressing the floor away. We're already halfway. You got it. So proud of you for being here today, whether you're here live or you're watching the recording. 5, 2, and shake it out. Also, if you only have time for one circuit, that's great too, right? Don't have to always be perfect and perfectly prescribed in order to make progress or for something to be beneficial for you. All right, grab those weights, hinge at your hips, and we're rowing. If you need some more core stability, you can also pop one of your legs behind you. To give you that stability. All right, good. I want you really hinged over here. Initiating that movement with the muscles around your shoulder blades. Good, we got 5 seconds. 2, and rest. All right, we got pulse squats and lateral raises, and then one more circuit. You're more than halfway done with this workout, okay? 10 seconds. If you want to hold a weight for your pulse squats, you can also hold the weights up on your shoulders if you'd like. And go. Drop it, pulse it, press it. Drop, pulse, press. Try to make sure your chin is tucked just slightly, kind of like I'm looking at where my floor attaches to my wall. You don't want your neck extended like this. No straining our necks. We carry enough tension in our necks and shoulders. Good, we got 10 seconds, friends. Good. And rest, find those lighter set of weights. Shake it out. If you're listening to music, love to know what you're listening to, what's on your playlist. I'm always looking for new music. All right, find that 90-degree angle. And down. And down. And we don't need to grip these weights. Just enough so that we're not dropping them, okay? Good. And down. You're more than halfway. And after this, you're gonna get a little rest. And then we're gonna go through this one more time. 8, 5. Good job, everybody. And shake it out. Grab some water. I'm gonna check in, see if anybody has any questions. You are all super rock stars. All right, so again, some other tips. You can always adjust the interval length. You could also make your intervals 50 seconds with a 10-second transition. You could also do these circuits as like a rep count. So you could also move through this circuit as all your reps are 12 or all your reps are 8 and play around with different weights. For a group type workout, I find as an instructor, time sets to be the easiest for me to instruct to because I don't have to keep count of reps. All right, so you want to feel like your last few reps are challenging but doable, okay? That's your goal when you're trying to figure out the amount of resistance, the amount of weight and or reps you're doing. Okay, who's ready for our last circuit? I'm actually going to take this shirt off because it is hot in my garage. All right, last time, last 6 minutes, here we go. We are going into that reverse lunge, stepping back with our right leg now. Remember, you can also add weight. Good. Also, a common misconception of lunges is that you have to take this leg and like move it behind your front leg. You don't have to do that. You can keep your feet hip width apart, which is gonna help with your stability, okay? It helps with your base, like a triangle, right? So if you find when you're doing lunges that you're like losing your balance and falling over, make sure that you're not stepping back behind your front leg. And rest. Friends, last set of push-ups. You can do this. We love push-ups. Good. I'm gonna put my block between my legs, hands about shoulder width, pressing back through my toes, strong plank position, and make sure you're not rolling forward. And my friend Coach Justice taught me a cue of bringing your belly to the floor as opposed to thinking about bringing your chest to the floor, which can help prevent you from this. Okay, so strong plank, 5 seconds, and we are done with those. Proud of you. All right. Reverse lunges on the other side. That means my left leg is coming back. All right. You can hold when you're lunging. Hold the weight here. You can hold them at your side. You can hold them up your shoulders. And here we go. Last lunge. You got it. Again, think about pressing and standing up into that full extension at the top. Good. Proud chest. Feeling proud of all the work you're doing today and every day. Good. 5, 2, and rest. All right, you know what's coming up. Bent over rows. Slightly heavier weight here. Whew. I am warm. All right, we got 5 seconds. Remember, we're hinging at our hips and rowing hands to hips, squeezing our shoulder blades. Really nice job, friends. This movement is being initiated by the muscles around our shoulder blades. Good. Remember, pop one leg behind you if you need a little extra support. We got 8 seconds here. 2, and rest. All right, 2 movements left. Quick stretch, and we are done. All right? So, again, I'm going to hold my weight goblet style. Getting my feet ready. We got our squat pulse in 3, 2, and drop it down. Pulse, up. Pulse. Good. I know my breathing is a little exaggerated, but I want you to really hear when I'm exhaling so that it will help you with your breath. Okay? More than halfway on this. Good. Watch our knees. Feel that floor beneath our feet. Really awesome job, everybody. And rest. 40 seconds of work left. Grab those lighter weights. Shoulders are back and down. We're going in 10 seconds. 5, 2, we're at 90 degrees, and lift. Again, we're not going higher than our shoulders. Neutral spine, slight bend in our knees. You should feel your core turning on, for lack of a better descriptor. Good. 10 seconds. Good. 5, 2, and you are done. I want you to take your left arm up and over your head. Gently press on your elbow. Pat yourselves on the back for an excellent job done. Thank you so much for being here. If you're on the recording, I'd love to hear in the comments what you thought of this workout, what questions you have, and other arm up and over. Gently pat yourself on the back. Good. And I invite you, if you're not already a member of Straight Up Strong, to come try a class with us. Our workouts, our coaching, we walk you through all of the workouts. So whether you're a beginner or intermediate, somebody restarting, our programming is for you. Gently take your arms behind you. You can also hold on to a towel or a resistance band if your shoulder mobility is a little tight. You should feel the stretch in the front of your shoulders and in your chest. Good. Breathing in. If your heart rate's up, letting it come down. And release, shake it out. I want you to take your right leg into your right hand. Knees are together. Tilt your pelvis forward so that you feel the stretch in the front of that bent leg. You can also squeeze your glute of that leg to feel a little bit deeper in there. Make sure you hold on to something if you're super wibbly wobbly. It's all good. You might find that some days you need a little bit more support than others. We all do, right? And release. Other leg. Knees are together. Tilt your pelvis forward. Squeeze the glute of that bent leg. Feel that stretch in the front of your thigh. Really nice job, everybody. Good. So, if you're interested in trying a class with us, the link is in our bio. We would love to have you, or send us a DM. We can chat, see if it's a good fit. Excellent. And release. Take your right leg, pop your toes up, hinge at your hips, long spine. We're not flopping over here. Nice long spine, tight core, feeling that stretch from our glutes, probably down into your calves. Sometimes everybody feels the stretch in slightly different places, and sometimes on different days you'll feel it in a little bit of a different place. Good. And release. Left leg, pop your toes up, hinge over. Whew. And you might find, just like me, one leg is a little tighter than the other. That's normal. Good. Make sure you're not pressing, like pushing into your thighs. Make sure you're not hyperextending your knee. Spine is long. Taking nice deep breaths in. Getting oxygen into our lungs and into our muscles. Thanking them for all the work they just did for us. And last stretch, we're going to do this standing, but you can also do this on the floor. Take your right leg over your left leg. Sit into that figure 4. Try not to collapse over. Oops. Hold on to something for a little extra stability. Again, you can also do this on the floor. Breathing, smiling if you want. And release. Left leg over the right leg. Sitting in. It's our last stretch. So thanks everybody for joining me today. Really appreciate it. I'm Coach Michelle from Straight Up Strong. And release. And we are done. And I hope to see you again on another workout or sometime soon in a Straight Up Strong class. Again, links for everything are in the bio, or send us a message so we can chat and stay hydrated.